housekeeping quick video for you. So you are going to learn how to exactly create sponsored product campaigns on the Amazon Ad Console. So the first thing that you would do, first off, you would log into your Ad Console, going to create campaigns. And once that you click on that, these are the options that are going to come up whenever you would want to create a sponsored product ad. As of now, 2025, these are the options: sponsored product, sponsored brand, sponsored display, and sponsored TV beta. Amazon is usually beta testing. Select sponsored products and click on continue. And then what we are going to do, we're going to first off select the product that we want to advertise. Let's say that this is the product that we want to advertise. We're going to add it. And once that we chose our product, next what we're going to do, we're going to scroll down. And here you have a few options that I would like to walk you through. So when it comes to sponsored product ads, currently the two types that you can create is auto campaigns or manual campaigns. Difference between these two is basically how much control do you give Amazon into showcasing your ads wherever they want to or you want to, right? So here, if we're going to select the automatic targeting, that is something that is innate to the platform and it's going to be selected for you the moment that you're going to log in and go through the whole process. So here you can select automatic targeting, and once that is selected, it's going to give you a default bid for all the ad groups that it would be within your campaign. Now here, if you're going to select set bids by targeting group, what this actually means is that within auto campaigns, there are 4 ad groups: close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. What you can do to have more control on selecting a specific targeting type, you can just toggle maybe one of those. So in this case, let's say I'm starting to create a sponsored product, automatic targeting. I'm going to select the targeting group, which is a close match. Here you can toggle the I button and it's going to give you exact information on which are the keywords that your product will show up for if you're going to toggle that match. So here we can see that Amazon is saying that will show your ad to shoppers who use search terms closely related to your products. If your product is a Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, will show an ad when shoppers use search terms like cotton sheets and 400 count sheets. So this can give you a better idea of what exactly close match means. So let's say that actually we would want to create loose match campaigns. Here, Amazon is saying that they are going to show their ads to shoppers who use search terms loosely related to your products. If your product is Doppler 400 count cotton sheet, will show an ad where shoppers use search terms like bed sheets, and bed towels. So why is this so important to make the differentiation between the two? As you can see, just by the sheer fact that you selected close match rather than loose match, you have a higher chance of showcasing the product of exactly what is it for, rather than giving control to Amazon to show it for whatever they would like to show it up for. All right, let's try out substitutes. So here basically is going to be product targeting or async targeting. Amazon is saying that we will show your ads to shoppers who use detailed pages of products similar to yours. If your product is Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, we'll show an ad on detailed pages that includes 300 count cotton sheets and Queen 400 count sheets. Whenever this option would be on, it's supposed to show you only for targeted asyncs, not necessarily keywords. However, pulling a report just only last week in 2025, we noticed that Amazon will showcase your product also for particular keywords. This is just like something new that we are noticing for the past few months. Amazon will show also your product for keywords, not only for asyncs. Next is complements. Amazon is saying that they are going to show your ad to shoppers who view the detailed pages of products that complement your product. If your product is Doppler 400 count cotton sheets, will show your ad on detailed pages that include Queen comforter and feather pillows. Now, if you're going to choose this option, this is more of a broader range, I would say, when it comes to close match, loose match, substitutes, complements. Close match is the closest to whatever your product is. Substitutes is, again, the closest to whatever your product is. Complements and loose is more on the wider range, wherever your product would fit. So what I would advise you is, if you want to start and create your very first sponsored product ad in an automatic targeting, I would highly advise you to create 4 separate ad groups instead of creating just the one ad group and just throwing all the targeting groups within, because then you can have more control. So let's say in this scenario, I want to select close match. Right now, there's a huge difference between the ad group types. So close match, it is the most expensive. It is around $5.16 average per click. And then loose match is less expensive, substitutes less expensive, complements is the least expensive of all the versions. Why is this important for you to know is because whenever we are going to have a strategy behind the campaigns that we're creating, it's going to be very important for us to understand how much to bid. Because at this point, if you see, even if this is a close match, I still have to have a very, very high bid in order to show up. All right, so in this case, let's say we are sticking with the targeting group of automatic targeting. We are selecting the close match, and then the bid is $5.16. Next, what we're going to see is this section, which is negative keyword targeting. Now here you can add two different match types. You can add negative exact and negative phrase. As you can see, this is just optional. Amazon is not requesting you to add any negatives. Once that we have more understanding of how negatives work and actually which are the negatives that you would like to add, we have the option to add them there. The next is going to be negative product targeting. This is again optional, but that is also one of the options that it's given. Let's scroll down here. It's going to be campaign bidding strategy. And why this is extremely important, especially now in 2025, I'm going to mention this is because if you logged in previously, the way how they structured this, it was first dynamic down only, dynamic up and down, and then fixed bids. And why is this very, very important is because with Amazon ads is to have as much control as we can. So therefore, we're not going to spend any additional budget on things that we know that they are not going to work or they might not work in the way that we want them to work. What is going to be very important for you to understand is how does dynamic bidding works and fixed bidding works. Dynamic bids up and down means that Amazon is going to raise the bids in real time when your ad might be most likely to convert on a sale and lower your bids when less likely to convert to a sale. Why is this really important for you to understand is that, for example, if right now we have a $5 bid, if we're going to choose this bidding strategy where we are allowing Amazon to up or down our bids in real time, what is going to happen is more likely that Amazon will be upping our bid. So even if we have a very strict $5.15 bid, we might be paying $6, $7 for this bid, or we might be paying $3, $2 for this bid. So as you can see, this is the least amount of control. Usually whenever we would create any type of ads, automatic manual, including here, we would always select down only, or maybe whenever we have specific strategies, we would select fixed bids. But I would advise you against choosing the up and down method simply because you have the least amount of control and we want to have as much amount of control as we can so we can budget properly the money that we are going to spend on advertising. Next is going to be dynamic bids down only. What this basically means is that Amazon is going to lower your bids in real time when your ad might be less likely to convert on a sale. So this is the one that I highly advise you to choose because you are going to bid $5.15 for one click. Therefore, you are not going to ever pay higher than that amount unless you have something that it's called a placement modifier in place, which right now we don't have it. So fixed bids, basically here, what that means is that if we're going to pay $5.50, even if for $4 you would show up there, you would still pay the $5.15 just because that's how much you want to give and that's how much Amazon is going to take. Talking about these three bidding strategies is important for you to understand because it comes down to control. Everything what you're doing when you're creating your ads, it comes down to how much control you give to Amazon or how much control do you want to keep for yourself. So I would highly advise you to select dynamic bids down only in this scenario. Now, this is the next section that I was mentioning. And here, basically, these are called placement modifiers. What they are, Amazon will show up specifically your ad in specific placement. There are three placements: top of search on the first page, rest of search, and product pages. Now, why is this important for you to know? Is because once that you're going to create your ads, you are allowing Amazon to place first your ads whatever they want to, and then based on wherever they are placing it and which placement works best for you, then you can adjust your bids. Since we're considering right now to create an automatic campaign, I would not have anything like this in place just because my purpose with any auto campaign that I'm creating, and this goes down into strategy and we're going to go into more depth into specific videos when it comes down to strategy. But when it comes down to the auto campaigns strategy for us, for example, in ScaleWave, these are discovery campaigns. So this is supposed to create additional sales at the cheapest price possible. Therefore, we want to have as much control we can when it comes to these ads. When it comes down to placements, we would not place any placement on automatic ads specifically. The next section is called settings. And basically here, what Amazon is going to ask you is for a campaign name, for a portfolio, start and bid, and budget that you might have. Campaign name is a topic that we are going to discuss in more detail in other episodes. Usually when it comes down to campaign naming structure, we want to have something super specific. So here, for example, it would be the product name, something specific to the product itself, and then the type of ad we created. For example, let's say this is the product name. I'm just putting XX. Then I would add one more identifier. So product identifier 1, for example, and then product identifier 2. If you have something that is more specific to a product, let's say is variation, it is color, it is whatsoever that is specific to the product. And then that's something that you would add. Next one, what we like to add is like SP, which stands for sponsored product. And then next we would add what ad type this is. So this is an auto campaign. Usually we are putting asterisks when it comes down to auto campaign. You can definitely write auto. Next thing what we would add is the match type. So here it is a close match. And then next, if there are any other identifiers, if you actually created these on a specific keyword list, or if it's anything else that you would like to add within the title itself, so it's going to be super easy for you to know exactly what it is, we would add that here. So I'm putting X. But basically, this is how we would structure a campaign name. Again, I'm going to create a specific video for that so you can understand how we are dealing with this part. So it's going to be the easiest to recognize whatever is within the campaign. Next is going to be portfolio. The moment that you're going to click here, in case that you already created portfolios for your accounts, you can choose exactly the portfolio that you want to add your campaign into. Next, start date and end date. Usually we would leave the same start date. We would never add an end date. And then daily budget, they are suggesting $35. We can click on that so we can set it up. Again, really depends on the strategy. Usually the way that we like to have the daily budget is allowing to that keywords to get at least 10 to 15 clicks per day. So in this scenario, if our bid is $5.15, we would have at least a $50 budget for it. Again, for the purpose of the video, this is just like, it's easy because it's suggested by Amazon. This is like auto campaign. So this campaign is not going to be actually live. I'm going to leave it at 35. And then it's one more option here that's saying launch additional campaigns in other countries. I would highly advise you to not have this toggled, because what this actually means, for example, right now we are in the Canadian marketplace for this account. And what we don't want to is create additional ads in the US marketplace, because that is not something that we have right now control of. We want to create ads in the specific Canadian marketplace. So this is something that I can talk about it maybe in another video. So far, we're not using this at all within our agency because it makes no sense. And then what we would do is like launch campaign. And that is when you would actually launch the campaign. And that's kind of it. We just have to know the basics, what's what and what to choose, what not to choose. Most important takeaway in this whole video for you is to understand whenever it comes down to creating ads, it's not only how you are creating the ads, but what is the strategy and purpose behind them. At the end of the day, setting up ads, it's quite easy. It's going to come down to your troubleshooting abilities, understanding what the results are, understanding what works, what doesn't work, and based on that, to make the next decision to see how does the campaign that you created actually can still fit within the strategy. That being said, certainly hope that you found this video helpful and thorough enough for even a beginner to go through and create their very first sponsored product auto campaign. If you enjoyed this, please ensure to like the video. Take care. Bye.